We're living through a moment of profound change economically, spiritually, politically. It's therefore strikingly appropriate that the Catholic Church, this institution more ancient than most living states, has chosen for the first time an American Pope, Robert Francis Prevost, now known as Pope Leo XIV. But if you think his nationality is the headline, it's that's think again, because it's his name, Leo, which signals the deeper story. The choice of the name Leo XIV is not ornamental, it's pragmatic. It takes us back to Leo XIII, the towering intellectual and the social reformer of the 19th century, whose 1891 encyclical Rerum Novarum laid the foundations of Catholic social teaching. And in the middle of the Industrial Revolution's smoke and soot, Leo XIII stood for justice in work, dignity in poverty, and a third way between unfettered capitalism and revolutionary socialism. Now, Leo XIV faces the chaos of artificial intelligence, transhumanism, mass displacement, political extremism. He's invoked the same legacy, and in his own words, the Church must now respond to a new industrial revolution, one driven not by steam but by algorithms. In his first sermon in the Sistine Chapel, Leo XIV criticized the domination of technology, money, success, and power. And he wasn't merely being poetic, he was diagnosing the disease of our age. And his concern lies not with productivity, but with inhumanity, a system where the worker is reduced to a cog, the poor to statistics, and the vulnerable to cost centres. And the Pope's social vision is rooted in subsidiarity, empowering local communities rather than centralising control. This is no call for Marxism, as certain Trump allies like Laura Loomer hysterically suggested. Rather, it's a reaffirmation that the market must serve the human being, not the other way round. And Leo XIV inherits the bridge-building ethos of his friend and predecessor, Pope Francis. He's already declared we must be a church that works together to build bridges and to keep our arms open. But he is less confrontational than Francis. Expect him to govern with a quieter authority, what one commentator called sober simplicity. He's no firebrand, he's a listener forged in the pastoral complexities of Peru and in the deliberative corridors of the Vatican's dicastery for bishops. But nor is he silent. He's taken moral stances against Trump's deportations, against Vice President J.D. Vance's selective ethics, and for climate justice, migrants, and for the marginalised. On women's ordination, Pope Leo XIV remains aligned with the traditional stance. The priesthood is closed to women, but he speaks with recognition of women's immense value to church leadership and has appointed women to roles advising on episcopal nominations once unthinkable. On LGBTQ plus issues, Pope Leo XIV's past statements have alarmed some, citing concerns over alternative families and gender ideology, but his recent approach has been more nuanced, supporting respect for all people while resisting cultural relativism. His position on fiducia supplicans, which allows blessings for same-sex couples, was cautious but open to local interpretation. The door is ajar, but it's not flung open. He also faces mounting scrutiny over his past handling of clerical sexual abuse cases in Peru. Survivors and advocates are watching closely. The moral legitimacy of his papacy will depend on transparency, not just compassion. Pope Leo XIV is not a revolutionary, but a reformer. He may wear the papal mozzetta, but he will walk in the footprints of Francis down to the migrant camps, into the court of public conscience, through the fog of technological hubris. He speaks softly. He seems to have adopted Francis's pectoral cross, but his agenda is weighty. He wants the church to speak not just to the world, but with it. And in this age of algorithmic tyranny, climate breakdown, and spiritual confusion, he offers the same diagnosis as his namesake. The world cannot be healed without a return to the values of human dignity, community, and Christian love. And in Leo XIV, the Catholic Church has chosen not just a man from America, but a man for the age.